Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Meeting in order, first meeting of October, and we look for an approval of our minutes first. I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
First and second, any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Our first resolution is authorizing a reclassification of one employment advisor to one employment specialist assistant in the Department of Social Services. So I've got this here. So recent resignation of an employment advisor provided the opportunity to assess the current job duties and determine ongoing need based on current needs within the team. The position will provide backup to allow the addition of duties that may otherwise be handled by a higher level position. And with the reclassification of this position, the team will have two employment specialist assistants, and we'll be able to move some duties away from the employment specialist. I'll look for a motion on this.
Make a motion.
Second. And it looks like this is actually going to save a little bit of money next year. Any questions regarding this? Looks good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? HS2 is resolution authorizing reclassification of two positions in the Department of Social Services. This is gearing up for the heat season that promises to be pretty busy. We have had very limited luck finding typist candidates that and as a result, we're experiencing large gaps in coverage for processing heat applications and customer service. We were unable to hire any heat typists in 22-23, and with vacancies to our year-round typist positions, we once again are in dire need of support staff to keep that program operating. So this proposal is to reclassify the two remaining typist positions to CSWs, and in the hopes that will help us to retain them. So I'll look for a motion on this.
Second.
A motion and a second. It's almost like Jeopardy. Who gets their hand on the any questions about this? It's not a huge expense for, it seems to me, or it's actually they're 100% reimbursed, so there's zero extra expense. If it's going to help us retain or hire these people, it seems to make sense to go ahead and do this. Any questions for Stacy and then, or Marty? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. HS3 is resolution authorizing budgetary modification of Department of Social Services for the 23-24 rental supplement program allocation. This is to accept $432,808. There was an email that went to everybody where we had some discussions about the rules on this and some language, and I think everybody's comfortable with it now. I'll look for a motion. Frank? Jim? Questions regarding this one? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? HS4 is a resolution authorizing budget modification, amendment to resolution number 173, Department of Social Services 22-23 rental supplement program allocation. This is basically to fix something that was in the wrong line.
Yep. Same amount.
So I'll look for a motion on this. Mike?
Second.
All right, any questions? It's really just, this is money, this is last year's funding, but we had it in the wrong line.
So it's just moving money.
Moving money. All right, if there's no questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. HS 5 is a resolution authorizing reclassification of 2 positions in Department of Social Services Administrative Unit. DSS currently has, sorry for the delay, it's a big pregnant pause. DSS currently has 1 employee that processes payroll and handles all in-house HR inquiries for 350 employees. This position will also be taking on additional personnel, data reporting and training the administrative services assistant to take on more of the payroll processing and management of HR paperwork, so they can truly be a full backup to the principal when the principal's out of the office. This upgrade will also more effectively create a promotional path for the administrative services assistant. So I'll look for a motion to discuss. We got 2 years over there. Pick one for whoever got to push the button first. Questions for Stacy on this, or Marty?
So you're actually upgrading 2 people.
At not much of an additional for, I think, what we're going to get. That's for bang for the buck. Looks like we would, so between the 2 of them, the local share for the rest of this year is about $500. For all of 2024, the total additional is about $2,300, just under that, $2,300. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. HS 6 is a resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, furniture and furnishings for the remainder of the 23 calendar year. I gotta turn my feet. I didn't do my little cheat sheet this time. I was working from not as fast as normal. $4,690, furniture and furnishings, moving it from an admin salaries and wages. I'll look for a motion.
Motion.
A second? Motion and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I understand the need now, but I heard a little bit of feedback on the last one. And I think you've got a couple people that are very conscientious of the furniture thing. You've done a lot of furniture replacement, which was needed this year. You're not done, or is there still more we need to be?
No, we have a big shop that was neglected for a long time. We picked the priority. You know, certainly a big piece of that was getting those rolling racks out and putting new cubicles in, chairs in. A lot of chairs, a lot of things have been neglected over 3 years, but even prior to that. So I'd switch out a lot more if I had more resources, but we're picking away at it and we've done what we can to prioritize. Marty, do you have any other comments on that?
I mean, I, for example, gave up my chair this year that I'd had since 1998. So I love that chair, but have a lot of people that just had really, really, really old seating. And with the rolling racks being removed, we needed to put new cubicles in there in order to have enough seats available for the staff that we have coming in as we start being able to hire more people.
Okay. Mike?
I wish I could say, yes, Jim, we've kept all our equipment up to date over the last 50 years, but
Yeah, I understand it. I just, I got one person who's called a couple times now on furniture. I'm sure this is gonna trigger another phone call here.
Feeling we're replacing too much?
I don't think that they're looking at, which I've tried to get them to do, is look at what the need is. And they did mention the rolling racks that went out versus that space now having to be converted over. I think they're just looking at the money that's went into this. Is there an end game with this or a plan, or should that be dealt with differently? Is this one all ours, or is this one state money that comes back, or are you moving it?
We get reimbursement for every single piece of furniture. That whole rolling rack and replacement was all Medicaid. We get 100% reimbursement there, which is why we picked Medicaid, although they were inadequate in their space. Yeah, we get upwards of probably an average of 70% reimbursement. Some are lower, some are higher.
This one says it's 75%, so in the end, the local share will be 1,172.
Okay, so whatever we've got plans for on this.
Seems to me if we're keeping our employees more comfortable, they're gonna be a little happier to remain.
I don't dispute it. I just, you've got to answer.
Jim, I'm wondering if,
back a little bit.
I mean, I'm hearing some similar kinds of feedback from staff, and I explained to them where this funding is coming from. I think there was fear that we're spending it all on this. Why aren't we spending it on salaries?
Yeah, I've heard that too, but I didn't want to open that can.
Okay, well,
There was another person that had more of a question about furniture budget, what is it, we seem to be doing a lot. I agree, it's been a long time. I mean, I've been on this committee back when it was a marathon, and not a lot of furniture got bought. But I will tell you, my 70-year-old chair is still in good shape.
Yeah, it's not 25 years old like Marty's was.
How old was yours?
I got it in 98.
98? You got me beat by a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to sense a direction because I know I'm going to get a phone call.
Gotcha. Please let them know. I'm always open and available for feedback, especially if it's my staff, my colleagues.
Go ahead, Herb.
Maybe once you get whatever you want, then every year, just get a little bit. Keep it updated instead of waiting 25 years for you to replace a chair.
I think that there should be a schedule.
Yep, I agree. Totally. And of course, we also get the expansion with the START, the Sobriety Treatment and Recovery Team.
Right.
So we turned a conference room into program space. And then we've taken other space and gotten rid of file cabinets to create conference rooms.
Mhm.
So there also is that vision of how do we better maximize the space we get.
Okay.
Anybody else? All those in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you for your support.
HS 7 is a resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, reproduction expenses for the remainder of 2023. This is $2,000, just basically because of inflation, I take it. I'll look for a motion. Got a second? Any questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? All right. HS 8 is a resolution authorizing an amended fee schedule for indigent burials. This is just to add a line that had been missing. I'll look for a motion.
Second.
We got a first and second. Take your pick over there, Raven. You're the determiner of who pressed the button first. So. This is to add cremation fee of $350 to the chart of services for beach and burial. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? HS 9 is a resolution transferring funds from capital project B0621 Sandy Island Beach and increasing the authorization of capital project 0121 CO25 Camp Hollis Shoreline Stabilization. This was money we did not spend, and we can move it from one ready project to another. I'll look for a motion on this.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, got extra seconds. Questions? Right on this. Herb?
I hate to say that shoreline,
This is the,
how far is, I mean, what are we doing on the shoreline?
So the bluff is eroding on our property. So there's big chunks of it missing, and it's continuing to erode. So this plan is to basically redesign it to build back what we have and build it back where it won't continue to erode. It's designed to.
You gotta use a light drip wrap.
It's gonna be.
there's a complete design plan that I'm sure you didn't bring it, but if you they could see it if they stopped out to see you
Yes.
or make an appointment. It's elaborate plan. I mean, when you see the price, that's.
So yeah, the state designed something in 2019, and then we partnered with Judas, and they've designed the whole impact of how we're going to address it. And really, if you look at it, it's like dug right out, so you have to. It's just continuing to the shoreline. I mean, we already have to take the fence down. That is 5 years old, maybe, because we're losing that much land.
But they're putting in light drip wrap.
As one of the things, there's large stone edge, there's large riprap, there's
Larger redstone. It's gonna get re-graded, the slope, vegetation on the slope, and then there's gonna be a drainage ditch on the top to push top-down erosion water off to the side to drainage.
Yeah, that drip wrap is gonna wash out anyway again.
Raven, did I get a motion on that? Thank you. I didn't check it off. Okay, so any other questions for Brian on this? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. HS 10 is a resolution opposing New York City's updated Fighting Homelessness and Eviction Prevention Supplement Program to send homeless families and individuals to upstate New York. I must admit, I was working from my old package, and this was not in my old package. Was it?
I think this is the program that she supposedly give them like credit cards, losing spending money, and they come north and that money is expended in, so is that close?
Well, I'll look for a motion to discuss it.
Oh, somehow.
Second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Last week, the mayor of New York announced that the city was changing its homeless rental voucher program to make the city's rental vouchers valid everywhere in New York, not just in New York City. And claiming it's voluntary, encouraging New York City's homeless people to take those vouchers and move up here to upstate counties. This is an attempt to clear space for the immigrants who are coming into New York City, and as a way to circumvent the emergency orders that a lot of upstate counties put in place. This rental voucher would pay for housing for homeless up here for 5 years, but none of the other costs that come along with that. That would be on us. So counties around the state are objecting to this, probably quite understandably, There is also a question as to whether the mayor can do this under Social Services Law 148, which prohibits anybody from deliberately moving someone out of their own municipality into another municipality for the purpose of making that municipality pay for it. This was done without any consultation with the counties. It was done with discussions between New York City and the state, the TDA. So there's pretty strong opposition to this across the state. Possibly some lawsuits coming. But the first step here would be to formally go on the record to oppose this. Because it is New York City's plan to encourage their homeless population to begin moving out of the city and into other counties. Broome County a few years ago was able to verify and caught New York City deliberately moving people into Broome County in violation of that law, got it reversed. So this is just the latest fight that the immigrant situation was brought on between the upstate counties and the 5 counties of New York City. I don't know if the commissioner has anything to add.
We are so overwhelmed. I had reported out to you about our homeless. 2 years ago, we were running about 550 for about a decade of people who were, show up at our doorstep and say they're homeless. Last year, it got up to 800. This year will be over 1,000. There's no doubt about it. So there's a lot of variables that impacted that. Certainly, I think the biggest influence was the moratorium on evictions, and many of our landlords now either got out of the business or they are very shy about renting, especially to people who have a history with social services. Keep in mind when they find an apartment that's affordable when they move in, if they mess up and they don't get their financial assistance through us, their rent goes away and that landlord has to try and go after, there's no guarantees. We pay month by month. They have to continue to be eligible for their housing allotments. So there is no way we could keep up with all of this should New York City start sending their folks in, even with a voucher, because we don't have the housing here. Where are we going to put them?
The other potential issue with this is the rental vouchers from New York City, which rents are higher there. So there's a concern that upstate landlords could displace other tenants in order to get the higher priced rental prices for 5 years for New York City.
Could these also be illegal immigrants?
No, this is home New York City homeless, not immigrants, but they're doing it to make space for.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that because I take care of 78 houses in the city, and a lot of them are through, and I'm going to tell you right now that will happen.
Yeah.
Because they're agreed to put a lot of money.
Legislator Krasik had his hand up actually first.
Yeah, I actually think, we need to support this. I think it needs to somehow be made even a stronger statement myself, that for the same reason you just stated. If you put 10 people in a van in New York City and send them up here, we couldn't place 10 people. I can't place anybody right now. I got a waiting list of 19 with disabilities that I can't get them in anywhere. And it's got to be a mess for you guys.
It's a mess.
It's just not possible.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next one. Sorry I wasn't, sorry. Yeah, I've taken care of my dad for a while, so I just came straight from Canandaigua today and didn't see the new packet. I only looked from the draft. Okay, we have a Camp Hollis shoreline stabilization bids. You can see the bids there, and the proposal is to take the low bid. Quite an amazing range there, from 1.78 million down to 818,000. A spread of $1 million on that work. So, Brian, you want to speak to it? I mean, do we have enough with the capital project now after
We
having
do, with adding
$500?
that money, we have enough to cover the cost of.
When would this start?
Once this is approved, the plan is to immediately award the contract and get them going, depending on weather. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, they're talking about starting right away. They want to be complete, again, correct me if I'm wrong, before camp opens in the spring.
Right.
So depending on the winter and everything.
Well, we should make a motion to accept this, correct? Or do we need, no?
Yeah.
All right, I'll make that motion. Look for a second.
I have a question on this
Well, why don't we
I'll
second it?
I'll second.
Okay, so we got a second, go ahead.
discussion. The low bidder, is all this documentation, bonding and all that stuff, is that
Barton.
accepted?
Barton was used as worked with them before and with other projects ready related, and they're good to work with. And Holly goes through the whole process.
Right, they have to meet all the criteria to be a vendor for this type of thing.
Is it building rates and all that stuff?
Yeah, they're is to my knowledge, they're acceptable in all areas. Like I said, the engineering firm has worked with them before on other ready projects.
Okay.
So which one has got the bid?
Slate Hill.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
I mean, it's a pretty big project, but it's also not rocket science.
No.
They got all the excellence.
All right,
Keep in mind, not to make it worse, but it's talking about here in state. If you recall, a couple months ago, I was back here because the state made our engineers change their plan, which added costs to the project.
Got it. Okay. Did you want to add anything? Or
Tim, you got any ready?
yeah, I think it's important we keep that beautiful piece of property there in place so for the future. All right,
I make a motion to accept the bid.
I already did, so
Okay.
I think you seconded it. Well, we got somebody. All right, all those in favor? Any opposed? All right, let's move on to our reports. Stacy, you are up first today.
Okay, well, I'm hoping as your household in Oswego County received this in the mail. We did 55,000 households for about $10,000. And we are pleased to say that the calls are coming in to our home finding unit. So we're very hopeful to get more foster parents. You know, we've had 24 adoptions this year that were foster parents. And so typically, sometimes they'll continue to be foster parents for us, but typically once they have adopted, they don't have room in their house to bring more kids in. So we lose foster parents as we seek permanency for those foster children. And so we will always be recruiting, but there, in my mind, has never been a greater need than right now. So we're hopeful that this will work. And then in this month, we'll have our new video that we'll be promoting for foster parent recruitment and hope to get more people connected to our mission. Some of you heard me say that COVID has hit DSS. We've got 8 COVID positives in our financial assistance unit right at a time when we have pop quiz, Marty, how many social welfare examiner vacancies?
I think we are around 9 or 10.
Yeah, so about a third of Gidget staff So this is hitting us hard in an already understaffed department to have this many out with COVID. We'll be releasing some information. People are confused about payment for the vaccine, payment for tests, payment for, do I have to pay for the test in order to get the documentation I need for COVID, sick time, because many of our folks are new to county service and do not have a lot of sick time available. So we're doing our best to move things along and keep morale up. Heath is going to be very, very busy. We'll do our best, but if you are hearing from any constituents about delays, I know I've gotten some phone calls at the commissioner's level of complaints. Please send them to the commissioner's office. Tiffany will look right into it. We really are doing the very best we can to keep up.
Well, hopefully the change over to CSWs from typists
will help, yes. We have been able to hire CSWs and caseworker aides, interestingly enough. Those are two positions. They don't need degrees, and they pay a little bit better than some of our entry-level. Typists is probably typists and account clerks have been very difficult. So I think that's it, unless there's any questions or anything you'd like me to address.
Okay, thank you. Sarah, you're up.
Well, I passed out my update, and for those of you who weren't here on it, the first bullet, I did have the days that the Plasky site opened wrong. We're not open on Friday. It is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Here's a flyer.
Sure.
A flyer for that. Tomorrow is the first day, is the opening day. We have 6 reservations right now, which is I'm pretty happy with. I'll be going out on Thursday to see how everything's going, so we're happy for that. In addition to that, Heather Snow, our mobility manager, and Oswego Transportation, they did reroute, or it's on the books to add Springbrook Apartments, the senior housing in Plasky, into the OPT Route 14 to go to Selkirk Landing to bring seniors on Wednesday to the site. We right now don't have any transportation that OFA is providing to get seniors to the site, but OPT will be bringing residents from Springbrook to there on Wednesdays. Medicare open enrollment opens on the 15th. We've been taking appointments for that, and we just, I had my HICAP counselor. We have 2 people that do counseling in the office. One that's been there for a year, so he does have a year of experience under his belt, but we have a new staff person that was just hired September 6th, so she's been doing very well, getting up to snuff on the insurance. But in Oswego County, there's over 25,000 Medicare beneficiaries that potentially could ask. We don't have that many people that ask for our assistance, but there's over 25,000 people in the county that have Medicare. That's not just seniors, but anybody who's been declared disabled for 2 years is eligible for Medicare as well. So we assist those people as well. So a lot of people potentially for 2 staff to assist. And we've been doing very well with getting back to all the inquiries right now, but that is something as we get closer to enrollment, just a couple weeks away, as well as we get close to the end of open enrollment, which is December 7th, we're not going to be able to get or address everyone that asks for our assistance. So please just keep that in mind if you do get any calls from any constituents, that we try our best to try to assist everyone. because we have had turnover in that program, we have not been able to get a volunteer training module together to be able to have volunteers to assist with some of the work that's in that program. That is on our agenda, though, to have a volunteer training program so we can get some additional people in to alleviate some of that demand for the service. Moving right along, talking about HEAP, we've received 204 applications so far in our office for early outreach applications. We've touched all but 3. And when I say touch, it means they've been either completely processed or they're in the process of assisting our seniors get the documentation that's required for that. HEAP doesn't officially open until November 1st, so no one will be getting a benefit until after that date. But early outreach applications, we've been processing right along. We also are out in the community when we have our office hours in Amboy, Fulton, Central Square, Hannibal, Parish, Phoenix, and Sandy Creek, one day a month, so that people who don't have transportation or transportation is an issue for them, they can get to one of those locations so we can assist them with their applications there. We're gearing up for our Santa for Seniors program. Last year we had over 200 seniors that participated in it. We're not looking to expand the program in 2023 because that was a lot of gifts to get out in the community. If any of you came up to our office before Christmas, our hallway was just, both sides of it were just jam-packed with gifts to get out. So we're not going to expand it, and we are looking to partner with public service, firemen and policemen, at least in the cities, to make deliveries where there's a higher concentration of seniors that are receiving gifts. Because getting 200 plus, it's not 200 gifts, because it could be 4 or 5 gifts that they're getting to over 200 people. That's a lot for our small office to get that all done in a very short period of time. We're also working with the SUNY Oswego Club hockey team to rate leagues for seniors in the city of Oswego. That'll be on October 15th. We're limiting it to 10 to 15 residences because they have 29 to 30 on the team that will be assisting, and we, not knowing how large some of the yards may be, they're going to be available in the morning, so we're thinking that 10 to 15 homes will be able to help with that. We're going to be purchasing, because in the city of Oswego it has to be bagged or in a container. So we're going to go to, and it can't be a plastic bag, it has to be a paper bag. So we're going to go to Lowe's to purchase the bags to be used for our seniors, using some of our ARPA funds to be able to do that. And we do have gloves that are left over from our Shine program with our container gardens to be able to give gloves to the volunteers as well. But that's a Sunday morning, so we'll be out in the city of Oswego on Sunday the 15th, breaking leaves.
Are they going to do it with their hockey sticks?
We're going to be requesting that the homeowner provide rakes, their rakes that they have. If they don't, I am going to be looking to purchase some rakes as well that can be labeled and hopefully stored over at buildings and grounds, and see if they have any they would loan to us for that day as
Sure,
well.
we probably already have some, right?
So, and I reached out to the city DPW because I know that certain days of the week they pick up yard waste and you're not supposed to put it out until the night before or the day of. But because we're going to be all across the city and they're going to be doing it on Sunday, I'm going to ask them for a special dispensation so that we can put them out on the day of. They can, since it's only 10 to 15 households, maybe they can, depending on what district it's in, they'll be able to pick it up. But I'm working with them to try to work that out. I know that SUNY Oswego, all of their clubs do something in November as well. So anybody that we can't assist, we will refer on to the bigger event that's later on and please in November. The last meeting, I talked about some of our home delivered meal recipients were receiving scam calls, telling them that if they wanted to continue to receive their Meals on Wheels, they had to provide their social security number. I have no new information to share with you on where those calls may have originated, but I did follow up with Blooming Health, who is our notification system provider, and they did tell me that they had no breaches in their system where names would have been provided. So still looking into it, trying to figure it out, but I don't know if it's anything in any of our systems that, because they were calling it Meals on Wheels, our program we call Home Delivered Meals, so I'm not sure, but if I hear anything else, I'll keep you on the loop to let you know. We have 2 evidence-based programs right now going on. I'm doing the Walk with Ease program in Fulton. It's a 6-week program. We meet 3 mornings a week at the War Memorial. And we have a staff member that's working with the health department on the Stepping On class, which is at Springside, Seneca Hill. And that is weekly, not 3 days a week. And the last item I have is we're working with the mobility manager again and OCO Transportation to bring targeted shopping transportation from Fulton Senior Housing to Aldi's. We had, when you go to Aldi's for the public transportation now, they don't bring you into Aldi's, and there's stairs that go to Aldi's from the street level. If you go from the side street in, there's no sidewalk. So we're utilizing our curb to curb to be able to bring seniors right into Aldi to drop off, so you can have, and right now it's looking to be twice a month. So you have to utilize that on Wednesdays.
Any questions for Sarah?
Both Aldi's?
It's in Fulton right now. Once we see how this goes, I'll reach back out to Heather and Gary to see how we can expand it.
There's an issue with the drop-off in Fulton, and we went and did an assessment, Jim Cronk did. So you're aware of that, and I think they're aware of that.
Right, and that's why the bus is coming right to the door.
Come to the door?
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, other senior buildings here in Oswego, I believe, and in Fulton as well, they have a Price Chopper with Centro day of shopping. But people at Towpath wanted to go to Aldi's, and that was an issue with where they're being dropped off.
We're getting that resolved with the city, but as long as they're going to the front of the building, that's good job.
Well, Heather worked diligently with Gary to get that taken care of for us, so.
Any other questions? Okay, Brian, you're up.
Okay, first thing, we give you a flyer. We have a new event. It's a collaboration with the Oswego County Prevention Coalition and the Y and Catholic Charities. We're going to have a family wellness weekend, 2 of them, one in Oswego and one in Fulton. They're all going to be healthy, fun activities for the different agencies and such with information available. The key to it is we're looking to get 100 children at least there, that the first 100 that go through participate in the different activities that are being provided will get a free admission pass to the Splash Indoor Park. So that's a new thing we have going right now. Our AmeriCorps program started up on October 1st, so I have some flyers I can pass around if anybody wants to take any on that. Our Oswego State Laker hockey night will be coming up, and again, it's free admission for kids to go through for that, so I have that to go by. Also have another one so early at the holiday Christmas when you can have that. Also, I have sneak peek of my director's report for my board meeting next week. I cut and pasted a lot of it that's in here that you can read through it. You'll get a lot of valuable information as to all the grant updates, all our numbers, all our projects that are happening, upcoming events, everything is in here. But I'll just give that to you to read on your time going through. But there's a lot of info, including with Camp Hollis and Camp Serby, the numbers up to date with rentals, where we stand, with all that. So I'm going to pass that along to you, and you can read through that. And for those of you who will be at my meeting next week, you'll get a more detailed. Both if I can answer any questions that you have. Again, just coming off of the summer was very good number-wise, and fall we're back in schools, and we are going along well with everything that we have going, and we have a lot of great projects happening. We're fully back up to staff, so things are all good right now as we go. Parks and Rec.
Any questions for Brett?
Are you at the Fulton Fall Festival?
We are. I will see you afterwards. I've got a multiple Fulton events I can share with you.
Also, just very quickly, I want to throw a quick plug here since you've got all this going on. Our Friends with Hospice program did not end. They're still supporting people in hospice. And their Hotcakes for Hospice is next Sunday. And the Lakers are there serving food, and cleaning up, and trying to be very comical, and it is quite funny sometimes.
How are we doing?
How are we doing that? The organization didn't disband, hospice did. So their support of Oswego County residents in hospice is still going on. They need a blanket, they need if someone's got a birthday, they buy the cake, they do all that stuff. And that part did not go away. And this is one of their big fundraisers is at the Elks. If anything helps, go give the young people a hard time.
Eric, last but not least.
So tomorrow, the State Legion Commander is coming into Oswego County, so I will be attending the dinner in Cleveland tomorrow night. All the county commanders are going to be there, so it's a good hopping out time for me. And then Friday, October 13th, the Oswego VA Clinic is having a Have a Dog Day in the summer type deal, where they're going to be giving out hot dogs. Veterans can come and bring their dogs if they would like to. And my office is going to be there to answer any questions that the veterans might have for like the PACT Act or benefits or anything like that. So we're going to participate in that. And there is a flyer and a news release that went out for that one. December the 9th, I will be at Fairgrave Elementary speaking to kids for Veterans Day. So I get to do that. That's going to be fun. November 26th, the Central Square Legion is setting a block of time during that day, about 3 hours. Any veteran in the county is invited, and they're going to give me a flyer so we can put out a news release. And I'm going to go there and just give the whole spiel on benefits, how to apply for benefits, what the PACT Act is for veterans, whether you're Gulf War or Vietnam, and just a big question and answer session for about 3 hours, so that it gives as many people in there as possible. The license agreement between Oswego County and ClearPath finally got signed. So now the ClearPath peer mentor for Oswego County can use our offices. Unfortunately, she quit, so she's leaving. Friday's her last day. October 6th is her last day. So I talked to Lance. Lance is the area leader, so they're gonna put out, try to hire somebody else. And last but not least, Centro has contacted us, and we've been having some meetings. We're going to try to figure out a way to provide free bus services for veterans. The issue they're having right now is just how to identify the veteran when they go to get on the bus. We've talked about licenses, but not everybody has a license, or county ID cards, or passes. So once we get that figured out, hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to hand those out to the veterans in our office. So that when they come in, we can give them free bus passes. And that's indefinite. Once they get it, it's good until they don't need it anymore. That's it.
How are we doing on Veterans of the Year?
It's there, it's on the website. As far as how we're gonna pick that, and usually it's done by the committee. And we have not had committee meetings, so I don't know what our direction is from that. Starting after the first of the year, I'll really start advertising it, because we're gonna try to do it around July, August of next year, actually have the ceremony. I did contact Clear Path for Veterans, so they're talking about possibly catering the event. I'm just waiting to hear back from Chris Flaherty, is the guy in charge out there, so I'm waiting to hear back from him.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? I got Jim first.
They've got a system already in Central, they just need to follow through with that, because we have them for people with severe disabilities that can't afford, that need to use the bus. So, and I'm already looking forward to the dog event. They already walked down 3 doors and said, she needs to come. So we're going to be there. And last off, since I have 3 of you were here, Hutamaki is committed to a minimum of 8 baskets for each of you for Christmas dinner, and possibly more. But we got that commitment the other day. We have 8 people, so it's actually 4 times 8 they're doing. But you've got 8 again this year. And this year the recruiters are back on board. They'll be delivering them to your office and your office and your office.
Who will be delivering them?
The recruiters.
Is there any way they could deliver them right to the client, so we're not the middleman?
They can. We need that list fairly early, but yes.
Okay.
They did that a couple of years.
Yeah.
That if they've got it so that they can map it out,
Yeah.
and then they have to go one higher step to get permission to do it, and they can do it.
Okay.
But usually you don't end up with your final count until just a couple, 3 days ahead of time.
Yeah, we try not to have a duplication.
Right.
Which is why last minute is better, so I'm not sure it works for us to have it
updates.
Okay.
so
Yeah, just,
far ahead, but
I think that's.
it is a hardship to get those out.
it is. If you got it, you got it ahead. And lastly, for you, they're looking for projects. So I'm sure they can rake leaves too.
Great.
Or supervise the team and
Yeah.
try to talk all of them into
Well,
joining.
I was trying to get them to shovel snow, because that's a greater need for our seniors, especially those who are receiving home delivered meals, but they couldn't commit to that yet. So this is our start. We're gonna see how well it goes with that, but I would love to talk to them to see if they could rake leaves, but, the greater need really is shoveling snow.
Do you know who to talk to over there?
I do not
I
know.
will send that to you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Bert, did you?
I had a question. Supposedly a lady's husband died. He was a veteran. She went to I don't know what office she went to. She went to the VA office in this county. And they said she could get the paperwork to fill out because she wanted the plaque and a flag for her husband's grave. And she said the VA handed her the paperwork but told her to fill it out. She's an elderly lady, and she was kind of distraught to begin with because she lost her husband. It would have been nice if somebody at the VA's office would have helped her with that paperwork instead of having her take it home and do it herself.
That's not generally the practice that we do. We sit down with them in the 1330, we fill it out with them. But once we do our portion of it, they have to take it to the different agencies that need to sign it. The funeral home has to sign it, the cemetery people have to sign it, and bring that back. As far as the flag, that's an on-the-spot thing in the Fulton office. You can fill out the form, they sign it, I sign it, I hand them the flag. It's that easy. I don't know who she spoke to, so I haven't handed that paperwork out to anybody. I can talk to our TSN at work and see if you know them. If you have her number, by all means have her call me, and we will make sure that that gets taken care of. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, my direct number is 9104. 315-591-9104. Have her just call me directly, and I'll take care of it.
You know, we're on public meeting.
Oh, that's fine. I don't have to pick it up.
It's a county number, isn't it?
It's still answer, yeah. It's still the county number, so.
Just kidding. Okay, I'm not sure why it says we have Board of Elections on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Think,
I think it's a typo.
It must have been that Tim must have wanted to talk, he got something snuck on there. Tim, really? No, nothing from you?
I was here to support with the Rennie conversation, but you didn't even need me, so.
What did it say for executive session?
No, we don't have an executive session, do we?
Yes, we do.
We do. I was not informed.
It's a discussion concerning sale, lease, or acquisition of real property.
Okay, I would offer a motion to go into executive session for whatever Rich just said, because I didn't really hear him.
Acquisition of property.
Acquisition.
Sale, lease, or acquisition of
I
property.
can read.
All right, all those in favor? Go ahead.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you all for coming. All those in favor?
Treasurer's Department, and the money was taken